Every week there is a new headline. Another job automated. Another company replacing workers with AI. Another industry being disrupted. And if you've been paying attention, it is easy to feel like no job is safe anymore. But that is not the full story. Because while AI is genuinely replacing certain jobs, there is a specific category of work that researchers, economists, and data scientists consistently agree on. Jobs that AI cannot replace. Not because we are being optimistic. Not because we want to feel better. But because the evidence, backed by McKinsey, the World Economic Forum, Stanford University and Indeed's 2026 jobs report, all point to the same conclusion. There are jobs built on something AI fundamentally does not have. And today we are going to cover exactly 5 of them. Before we get into the list, there is one pattern connecting all 5 jobs. AI is extraordinary at processing information, recognizing patterns, generating outputs, optimizing systems. But there is one thing it genuinely cannot do. It cannot be human. It cannot feel what another person feels. It cannot earn trust through shared experience. It cannot make a judgment call in a situation where there is no rulebook. It cannot lead a room full of uncertain people toward a decision that requires wisdom, not data. Every job on this list requires exactly that. So here they are. Job 1, Mental Health Therapist. A 2025 study by RAND found that 1 in 8 Americans between the ages of 12 and 21 already use AI chatbots for mental health support. And apps like Wobot, Wiser and even ChatGPT are being used by millions of people who cannot access or afford a real therapist. So you might wonder, is this job already being replaced? The answer is no. And the research is clear. Stanford University and a clinical trial published in the NEJM AI journal both concluded the same thing. The most powerful predictor of successful therapy is the therapeutic alliance. The bond of trust between a therapist and a patient. That bond requires a human being. Someone who has lived. Who has struggled. Who can sit in a room with another person and sense what is not being said. An AI can generate responses. It cannot genuinely understand pain. And when someone is in crisis, a chatbot is not a therapist. It never will be. Job 2, Teacher, especially at early levels. AI can explain concepts brilliantly. It can generate personalized lesson plans in seconds. It can assess hundreds of students simultaneously. But teaching is not explanation. Teaching is knowing that one specific student is distracted today because something happened at home. It is sensing when a child is confused, but too afraid to raise their hand. It is building the kind of trust that makes a young person believe they are capable of more than they think. McKinsey research confirms that inspiring students, building relationships and mentoring cannot be automated. Think about the teachers who changed your life. They didn't just deliver information. They saw you. AI cannot see you. It can only process you. Job 3, Skilled Trades, Electrician, Plumber, Surgeon. This one surprises most people. While white-collar office jobs face enormous AI disruption, research consistently shows that physical skilled work is among the least exposed to automation. Only 4% of maintenance tasks and 6% of construction tasks are currently suitable for AI automation, according to a 2026 analysis of the US workforce. The reason is simple. A plumber does not just turn a valve. They read a situation, adapt in real time, work in cramped, unpredictable spaces that no two houses share exactly. A surgeon does not just cut tissue. They make split-second judgment calls in conditions that no training dataset can fully prepare a machine for. Dr. Atul Gawande, one of the world's most respected surgeons and writers, has spoken extensively about how surgical decision-making requires something beyond technical precision. It requires wisdom under pressure. And that is still a deeply human capability. Job 4, Crisis Response and Social Work. Imagine a social worker walking into a home where a family is in crisis. There is no script for that room. There is no algorithm that reads the tension in a father's voice, the fear in a child's eyes, or the specific cultural context that shapes everything happening in that moment. Social workers, crisis counselors, and emergency responders operate in environments that are messy, unpredictable, and deeply human. The World Economic Forum projects that healthcare and social work professions will add millions of new roles by 2030, not lose them. Because when human life is at its most fragile, people need other humans. Not a system. Not an algorithm. A person. Job 5, Creative Director and Strategic Leader. This is the most misunderstood one on this list. Yes, AI can write. It can design. It can generate. But there is a specific level of creative and strategic work that AI cannot reach. Not because it lacks capability, but because it lacks a point of view. Satya Nadella did not turn Microsoft around by running better algorithms. He changed the culture. He made a bet on the cloud when it was not obvious. He rebuilt trust inside a company that had lost its way. That is leadership. And leadership requires something AI cannot fake. Genuine accountability. When a decision goes wrong, someone has to stand up and own it. When a team is afraid, someone has to walk in and tell them the truth. When a company needs to change direction, someone has to make the call, knowing they could be completely wrong. AI can support every part of that process, but it cannot be that person. So here is what the data actually shows. AI is not coming for everything. It is coming for work that is repetitive, predictable, and pattern-based. But the work that requires you to be fully human, to feel, to judge, to lead, to connect, to heal. That work is not just surviving. In many cases it is becoming more valuable. The World Economic Forum projects 170 million new jobs created by 2030. And the ones at the top of that list, they are not technical. They are human. So the real question was never, will AI take every job? The real question is, are you building the skills that make you more human in a world that is becoming more automated? Because that is the only answer that actually matters.